Welcome everybody to Lift Talk. This is episode 47 and I'm joined by Alexander Dellaportas from Melbourne, Groove Lifting Club. I was just saying to you, I've spent my whole life getting people to not call me Alexander and now I have to call you Alexander. Why do you prefer that over Alex?
Alexander was what I was named. It's the full real deal. You're only taking up half of what you've been given.
It's totally fair. That's probably the only answer that I would have accepted. How are you, man? How was your flight here?
Yeah, good. Thanks for flying me up here. That was very kind of you.
That would be nice.
No, it's good. Nice and hot. Just up for the weekend, which would be good. But yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, so I did your podcast last year. When was that? Like November or so?
Sounds right, yeah.
And now you've come here to do mine, so thanks for coming on, man.
Pleasure.
So as you know, you've listened to a few episodes of the potty. All my guests, I asked them about their first memory of a physical culture space and kind of like what got them into training and, you know, this whole weird hobby that we all do. So what's yours?
Yeah, have to dig this one out a bit. I think it all sort of started because growing up, I used to love tennis. Biggest tennis nerd. Played from like 6 till 20. Just got progressively worse.
Who's the GOAT in your opinion?
Oh, Federer is the GOAT.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's
Djokovic,
that's an hour conversation.
Djokovic is pretty close.
Look, you know why I hate GOAT conversations? Because everyone's using a different rubric to come up with their definition. So if we can agree on a rubric, and if a rubric includes something along the lines of what they've done for the sport, Federer wins the GOAT debate easily.
Well, that's not the only part of the rubric.
Of course not.
It's like 1 out of 5, maybe.
Sure.
It's like accomplishments, longevity, peak, who they beat,
Yeah.
and then probably what they gave back / how they helped develop the sport. That's probably the 5 things, right?
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'd agree. And look, Djokovic undoubtedly ticks probably most of those boxes more than anyone else, but just doesn't have the polish.
So this is more of an emotional decision for you as opposed to an objective one.
Completely emotional.
That's the only. So obviously, I'm a big basketball fan,
Yeah.
and anyone who's trying to tell me that Michael Jordan's better than LeBron James at this point is purely talking on emotion because there's no justification for it anymore. But anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Go back.
So I love tennis, and I reckon I used to jump on YouTube and be like, how can I get better at tennis? And this is back in the day where Rafa was rocking the sleeveless top. Guns blazing.
Only one big arm though. His left arm's like 30% bigger than his right arm. It's fucking crazy.
So he was looking jacked, and I'm like, all right, let's. What can we do? So I reckon that's what started the curiosity with training, and I think, to be fair, I don't think it was too much weight stuff at that point in time. I remember there being a lot of agility ladders, a lot of footwork stuff, maybe some resistance band stuff.
Early on the resistance band trend.
Yeah, they were the days. Where are they now?
Yeah.
But then I remember some boys from high school, used to start going to the gym after school. And I think that's when I really started to get into it. I reckon I was like year 10. So when I was 16. And I was the type to, probably like watch a bunch of, again, YouTube videos again. Shows how important YouTube is these days. Look up technique, this and that. And I found I was pretty handy at it pretty quickly. I probably had for whatever reason, a better base of strength than most people. And then it all went from there. I'd say that they're my core memories for how I started getting into it.
Yeah, it's always interesting that people come at it from such different directions. That's why I like asking that question, because I think it like provides a nice amount of context about the person.
Yeah.
And then like sort of, how they got here. So on your potty, you do hot takes.
Yeah.
So I went on your potty and I said my first hot take was that oats suck. And my second hot take was that as a coach, understanding psychology is more important than understanding physiology.
Yeah.
Pretty spicy.
That's a really good one.
Now I want to hear your takes. So I've asked for one training related one and one non-training related one.
Which one would you like first?
Let's do non-training related.
All right. This one's pretty straightforward. Cold pasta any pasta, any variation, any recipe tastes better cold the next day after it's been in the fridge than hot when it's served.
That is spicy and wrong.
Well, I think I'm telling you the truth. My enjoyment of a hot pasta dish can range from a 4 to 6 out of 10.
So you're just not a big pasta guy.
Well, I'm a big pasta guy the day after when it's been chilled a bit.
So you're a pasta salad guy, really? That's what you're saying.
And mate, I'll give you some examples.
Yeah, give me some
lasagna
examples.
The next day from the fridge.
Must be heated.
Nah. At time to take in. I think the coldness packs a better punch with the flavour.
You agree with this, Chris?
That's one good example.
Okay, continue. Give me another example.
Penne spag bol.
Okay, so
this is where it starts to get a bit dicey because
Okay.
I know what you're imagining. In the fridge, the sauce, the red sauce has started to clump up a bit.
congealing. Yep.
Yep. What's the word?
Congeal.
Congealing. I didn't know that. The red sauce is congealing.
Yep.
Once you mix that all around a bit, way better because now you've got this thick consistency. It's a sauce that sits on your fork with your pasta. It's not running around everywhere. It's way better. So I'm saying, just to clarify, my enjoyment from hot to cold goes from a 4 to 6 out of 10 to a 7 to anywhere up to 10 out of 10.
So you're a really big cold pasta guy. That's what we're
Yeah,
getting.
really big cold pasta.
Okay, so my thing with pasta is that I need a lot of cheese on my pasta.
Yep.
So I think that kind of takes me out of the cold pasta game because that cheese has to be melted around. And if the cheese was put in the night before and then you fridge it,
Yep.
that cheese has to be melted through again.
Okay.
So that's probably where
put
we
this
differ.
to you. I think one thing that more people would commonly agree on is that cold pizza the next day is acceptable. How have you felt when you've had cold cheese on a cold pizza the day after?
If you're not putting your leftover pizza in the air fryer, you're a fucking idiot. I used to do the cold pizza thing for a long time.
Yeah.
So Chrissy and I used to do pizza every Sunday.
Yeah.
We'd get pizza and she'd only eat half her pizza. So I'd have half a pizza on Monday morning as breakfast. Breakfast of champions. And I would always do it cold. And it was good. But since I started putting it in the air fryer, levels better.
Yeah, interesting. Is it better than when you originally got it?
No, but very close.
Yeah. Okay.
It's I love pizza. Pizza's 10 out of 10. It's
Yep.
like a 9.5.
Yeah.
It's still elite.
All right. I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, we don't have to agree on the hot take. That's kind of what
the
makes
thing is,
takes
if you
hot.
were to instantly agree on my hot take, how hot would it really be?
Well, then we would just be the same person. Which, yeah, we're not too different. Is that's the
That's the
non-training
non
run? Okay, give me the training one.
This is underrated. Thought about this on the plane. Quote unquote off seasons for people who compete in powerlifting are effective long term, not because of the potential hypertrophic benefits or the bigger quote unquote baseline you can make, but because of the mental and physical rest you get from SBD.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Amazing. Such a good take.
I don't I couldn't be more passionate about this.
I think that people who are motivated to train and compete often do not ever need an off season
Yep.
because they fucking love competing and they love doing SBD, and doing more of it's going to be more helpful than not doing more of it. But people who sort of gear all up for a comp and go all in and then have big crashes after comps and dips in motivation and like you're suggesting, mental, physical burnout, those types of people need to step away.
Yeah.
And it's not even a step away of hey, yeah, like you said, hey, build work capacity, build volume, blah, blah, blah. It's more hey, just have a break, do some fun training, get a pump on, and then when you're ready, come back to it.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Good.
Fantastic
That would
take.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to elaborate on that?
The only thing I'd build on there is I actually think, obviously you hear a lot of chat about we need more muscle to for greater potential to produce force. But like, how effective are people at building muscle full stop in this sport anyway? Like in this off season, it's all good and well to. Oh, this is late. There's layers to this.
I get what you're saying, because so often people go on a 6-month off season and then they come back and they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, like the hypertrophy focused training that I put in a program is pretty much identical year round. It's always in there because it takes such a long time, as you're saying, to build that muscle that you need to keep it in all the time. You need to be pushing it hard.
Correct.
You can't just like add in more or swap low bars for hack squats and think that it's going to make a huge difference. It'll make a small difference if extrapolated out over a long enough time period, but that time period is like long.
Yeah.
Longer than anyone's willing to do in powerlifting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. I like that we're on the same page.
Okay, I've got a hot take, and this is non-training related. Camping sucks.
100%. So that's funny because, sorry, do you want to elaborate?
No, you go.
Beck, my girlfriend Beck's big on camping.
She loves camping, doesn't she?
Loves it.
She seems like it's
been ingrained
crunchy
since,
granola.
Yeah, 100%. It's been ingrained since they're young, everything about it. What a complete inconvenience to go somewhere.
It's not a holiday. My big thing is like, if you're going on holiday, you have to be upgrading your life.
Yeah,
like, I want to do stuff on my holiday that makes my life easier and that's less stressful. Not fucking sleep somewhere uncomfortable and eat shit packaged food and like get bitten by bugs. And no, I'm not doing it.
Completely agree.
I'm so out on camping.
When was the last time you went camping?
School. We used to do like a full week of camping for like our school camp back in from year 9 to 12. We would do a full week and they would gradually add in more days of sleeping out in the tent. So like in year 9, you'd do like 2 days, and then year 10, you'd do like 3. By the time you get to year 12, you're doing like 6 days in a tent, hiking every day in the snow, Mount Kosciuszko, shithouse. So yeah, hate it.
Yeah, I think it's weird that people do it voluntarily.
Yeah,
but there's probably two types of quote unquote camping. I think people that camp when they're older, they've got the full setup, they've got caravans, they've got all the kit.
Caravan is not camping.
Okay. So you're talking has to be
you got a bed. You got
floor.
A bed, dude. That's all right.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not.
How do you have no toilets?
It's not better than your bed at home.
So true.
Yeah, like imagine, be like, oh, I'm having so much fun shitting in a hole in the bush. It sounds terrible. Anyway, I sound like a pompous idiot.
Like the
we did, Chris.
Like the Swans fans, you reckon?
Fuck Swans fans. All right, so we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this chat. One of the things that I've seen you harp on a lot about on your social media is the idea of adherence and consistency.
Yep.
Give me the rundown for why this is the number one most important thing when it comes to our training progress.
It's important because training is actually boring as heck.
You can swear, bro.
Boring as fuck. And I feel like this passion reflects like honestly my own training over the last few years, and I'd describe that honestly as like times where I'm loving it, times where I'm happy to go all in on a prep, or
Sounds
times
like you need an off season, dude.
Well, I spent half the year unofficially off anyway. But adherence, I'd like to define something though. I don't think adherence is just like ticking off that you've done your session. I like to think of it as not just, okay, you got in to do your 4 sessions per week. You got in to do your 4 sessions, and within each of those sessions, you completed everything on your program like it was intended to be completed with intent. And
to the right RPEs.
Yeah. And with the buy-in, knowing what you're training towards. And I think a lot of that can be promoted from us as coaches. And I'm of the belief that program design plays a huge role here for a few reasons. So the first one is, and I think I think this is maybe my unique take on this. Maybe I think that programs should be written knowing how much time knowing how much time someone has and looking at that time across the week before putting things into it. And it's not just, oh, cool, this person in the form has said they've got 60 minutes to train each session. It's like Alex comes in on a Wednesday morning to train. Wednesday mornings is the day that he has like an hour and a half, 2 hours to train. But on Friday, he only has like 45 minutes to train. It's like, okay, let's make training work around that and around your life and your weekly schedule. Sure, it gets a bit grey when people have dynamic schedules, but I think that is an easy way you can get so much more out of a program for someone than just assuming all sessions are equal. I'll give you an example. My own training, on a Tuesday, I've got 30 minutes to train.
Arm day. Fuck yeah.
Pop in some upper accessories. It means on another day when maybe I want to tick off squat and bench, I can tick off like an extra couple of sets of bench or whatever, knowing that I don't have accessories to do afterwards. So I think the first thing is like looking at actual time someone has. To make sure that stays effective, one thing I'd like to do, especially at the end of a block, is, ask the question, did you have enough time to actually complete your sessions? Because if your answer is no, and you find out, one or two exercises per session are either being skipped or, they're being rushed. So how well are they really being done?
Or sandbagged because they got no energy or whatever.
Correct. Then what's the point of having them? Like that's where it's worth shuffling things around.
That's one of the things that I look at as well. And it's not even just time, but it's more like ebbs and flows in energy throughout the week. So I often have clients who work like shift work and by Saturday they're cooked.
Yep.
And if I ever put a hard session on a Saturday or if their day 4 was difficult, their performance would be horrendous. Yep. So a lot of the times in that instance, like I'm front loading heavier work. It's Monday, Tuesday, heavy work because you've just had the weekend to rest.
Yep.
And I think that works really well. Also have found like with the time example for my own training, I used to have Tuesdays where I would be at home and I'd be with the kids and I'd have 45 minutes to go down to the garage and do a session. And I would just do like you said on your Tuesdays, full upper body, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And even when I was in a comp prep, that session stayed in there because it was like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it was like something to look forward to. Like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get a sick arm pump. I'm going to do some pec flies and whatever, and it's going to be good. And then I'm done in 45 minutes. Like, that's super important as well. Sorry, I cut you off.
No. So I think that's one key part of program design, that it's important to think about time and allowing for time. The second thing, and I don't think this is uncommon, but having some input from the lifter with their preferences, especially exercise selection and accessories. I think that's something that's like, there is definitely not only one exercise you can do in that slot that your coach wants you to do. Like if all of a sudden you say, hey, instead of the pendulum squat, I want to smack the leg press. Cool. Like zero difference. All of a sudden you've made that decision. You feel like you've got buy-in into it. Perfect. What have I said? Exercise selection, preference, time. And the last thing, and maybe this isn't so much in how this isn't how the program's designed, understanding what and having objectives for each blocks, I think, as important as well. At the start of the block, obviously we train a lot of powerlifters, so maybe our performance goals or objectives are lift-based, but maybe it is trying to add tissue to a particular muscle group. If people understand why their program is written the way it is and includes exercises for particular purposes, again, I think it just doubles down on the buy-in they have into their program. So, if you said, I'm training for powerlifting and building the base is part of it, but at the same time, I want massive biceps. It's like, cool, Alex, those, 9 sets of biceps you've got spread out over the course of the week, I think those 9 sets are going to help you get to your goal. How often are you now going to skip those 3 sets of biceps at the end of your session? Probably not often.
I do every time.
Do you?
Nah, not really.
I can tell.
Yeah. So mean. I'm not going to recover from that. I completely lost my train of thought. I was going to say something and I've now completely forgotten what I was going to say.
So yeah, like overall, I think program design plays a huge role in adherence, and that's what we can do, or part of what we can do on our end.
I think that to speak on your point of each block having a goal, I think it goes even further than that, is that each week has a goal, each session has a goal, each exercise has a goal. And I think if you can do a really good job of explaining that, like, okay, here's your secondary deadlift day. We're doing tempo on the way down deadlifts. Here's why we're doing them. If the client understands why it's happening, it's going to get done with better quality, but it's also going to be more likely to be ticked off. If someone has a clear issue with their deadlift and we've identified as a coach that this thing's going to fix it, and they really care about fixing their deadlift, they're going to tick that off every single time. And that comes, like, it's the same example as the bicep. It's like, we want biceps in our program. Better fucking do them. And they will do them if it's actually important enough. And if they're not doing them, then it's actually not important enough. And they're maybe lying to you about their goals. And that's a whole nother conversation.
I've even thought maybe I should, and I haven't done this, but like you could even write at the start of the program, just like next to each exercise, this is what we want to get out of it. And you're right. I think that could go a really long way.
Yeah. And even like in those sort of earlier weeks of the block where people are kind of, chilling a little bit because loads are lighter, RPE targets are lighter, it's a good idea to remind them of why. And I think you'll end up getting better execution and better effort and better sort of intention behind those sets as well, because people love to gear up for RPE 8+. But no one likes to sort of focus as much with their RPE 5s. And I think if you can kind of make the client understand the importance of that early week, that leads to the next week, it leads to the next week, and then there's this carrot at the end of the stick dangling. That's something that Berkman and I used to always say in weekly weights. Is like there's got to be a carrot at the end of the stick, like each block, or maybe it's every 2 blocks, or maybe it's a competition every 3 blocks or whatever. Having that carrot at the end of the sticks is what keeps people coming back. It keeps people adherent. One other thing with the programming is like we hear all the time that people are searching for optimal, and it's such fucking bullshit because like optimal doesn't exist, so it's like searching for fucking Bigfoot. But like, if you told someone, hey, the optimal program for you is 4 days, and you've written them out this plan, and they've done 3 days 1 week, and then 4 the next, and then 2, and then 3, we don't actually know if the program's been effective or not because it hasn't been followed. And so we can't then look at this program at the end of it, this block, this 5 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. We can't say this block was successful because it wasn't done. So we can't then go, oh, cool. Now we're going to take these things that worked, these things that maybe could be improved. We have no fucking idea. We can't go back and write that next block unless that person is actually adhering first. So it's like you have to actually do what's written for me to know whether what's written worked first. Which for me is like we always start on the low end so that we ensure everyone's ticking every box. And we can build on it.
Yeah. Sort of to speak to that, you know how there's this notion that I reckon it's mainly been a message online for the last few years, I'd say, but less volume can be better in a lot of circumstances because, and this probably doesn't represent everyone's view, but because it's you can get it done and you can put more effort into it, and you can train harder as a result. You can hit your quote unquote RPEs. I think that's right for the wrong reasons. I think that the reason that works is if we've, to link it back to what I was saying about time, if we've understand properly how much time and resources people actually have to train. What was the first thing you said here? What was I replying to?
Actually, you don't even remember.
What was I going with that? You were saying, okay. So when people aren't finishing like, yeah, when people are
if
obviously
they've,
missing
if they've
sessions.
not finished sessions or sets or whatever, we don't know what the response of the actual program was if it wasn't followed.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, I don't remember how I was going to link this all back together, but to speak to that, if we have clear objectives at the start of the block and we're riding a 4-day program to suffice those goals, and you're missing 25% of that on sporadic weeks, obviously it's not the most efficient way to get there. I think maybe what I was trying to say with that less volume approach is, in a similar situation, in that hypothetical person that's missing a quarter of their sessions, had they had that little bit less volume and they stuck to things, their progress is going to be predictable, and that's actually what we can make changes on.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, is that we want to be able to write a program at the start of it and say, here's what we're predicting happens at the end of it.
Yeah.
We don't want to write a program that gets half completed and then maybe we got the effect that we wanted anyway, but we don't know which part of the program actually elicited that response.
Yeah.
It's like it just jumbles there's so much noise in the system.
Yeah.
It doesn't, tell us what's actually happening.
The other thing that I think gets muddled up with all of this is that a lot of the time we work with people that don't have 2 to 3 hours to train. And unfortunately, we see these higher levels of volume working well for people that do, quite simply. And people think that they need to be doing more or that much, but they don't have the time. Someone in their 20s going to uni who can spend half the day training, who is making heaps of progress for obvious reasons. They're recovering well and can train a shit ton. So I think that most people probably overestimate what
They need to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
I also think that people overestimate how long it takes to do what they need to do as well.
Yep.
Like number of people, and I'm definitely victims of this as well, like just fucking around so much and wasting so much time. Like a lot of the times, like warm-up set, wait 5 minutes, warm-up set, wait 5 minutes. Like, man, you can bang your warm-up sets out in 8 minutes, get to your top set in 15 minutes, and you finish squatting in 30 minutes. Whereas it takes people an hour a lot of times. And it's like, yeah, you might not have time to stretch a session out like these people who spend 3 hours in the gym, but they don't need to be training for 3 hours either.
Yeah.
Like that 3 hour session that uni kid's doing, there's this law. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's like basically it's about procrastination.
Yeah.
Where
you fill the time.
You fill the time.
Yeah.
So whatever time you have, that's how long it takes you to do the task. So if you've got 3 hours to train, you've got a 3 hour period, it's going to take you 3 hours. If you've got 1 hour, you're going to find a way to get it done in 1 hour. And I think like the person who may be more time poor might be looking at these people taking 3 hours to train and thinking that that's necessary, when in reality it could be done in, half the time.
Yeah. The one devil's advocate I'd put in there, because I've had this thought lately, and sure, it doesn't answer all of it, but obviously like the social aspect of the gym can cost a bit of time.
Of course.
However, that probably plays just as an important role in people's training.
To adherence.
Yeah. Yep. Because the gym is more than just training to a lot of people that we coach.
Totally.
I'd run like one group session on a Tuesday night, and basically everyone comes in, and I know that it's going to take everyone longer in that session. But I want it to. I want people that people love chatting to each other, and it's so great, and it's part of the reason why they do like their training and why they do get after it. So I don't really want to say to people in that session, like, you're complaining about not getting your exercises done, but you can do it. Like, you've got a lot more time. Like, I want them to enjoy that.
The other side to that coin, like to play devil's advocate to you playing devil's advocate, would be like, all right, you've got this 4 hour period where everyone comes in and trains. You could cut it in half and then go to the pub for 2 hours. Like, you could actually do a 2 hour session where everyone, they're still chatting, there's still socializing going on. And then you can finish training and then everyone can actually go and socialize.
Yeah. You reckon you'll ever come down for a PVs and pints?
I would love to. Chrissy and I are trying to get to Melbourne. Well, I'm coming for team champs, but Chrissy and I are trying to get to Melbourne later in the year. We've been meaning to come and see Deuce and Charlie because we couldn't come to the wedding.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll be back at some point. And then if it's a Tuesday, I'll definitely come.
Done.
Fucking oath. I need to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back. So this next topic idea I got from Beck Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
I messaged her the other day and I was like, what should I talk to Delly about? And she said that she wanted to talk about the idea that there's more to powerlifting than just like climbing the competitive ladder.
Yep.
She said that's a topic that you've, spoken with her about a bit.
Yep.
So I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
I think there's an issue. I think there needs to be more to powerlifting than climbing the competitive ranks. So I think it's a potential bombshell announcement here. This could be my hot take.
Another hot take.
Okay. Powerlifting is growing, which is great. New people competing, increasing. But what's retention actually like? You mentioned on a potty before, from everyone that did junior nats when you did it, there's like 2 people still doing it or something, right?
I mean, that was from 2015, so that's 10 years.
Sure.
And it was 5 males out of 105, I think. Yeah. But that's actually probably higher than the global average. Like, way, way, way less than 5% of powerlifters last 10 years.
It's got to be, right?
Way, way, way less.
So I can definitely understand how it's a sport where you get into it, you're super excited. You might do 2 or 3 comps in the space of 2 years.
Would this be no different to like a fun run? Like, how many people do you know have done 1 5K race or 2?
Yep.
And then they just never do it again?
Well, I think this is the nature of an event-based sport.
So is that actually inherently a problem?
Well, it could be better.
How?
Good question. Enter my grand idea.
All right, here we go. I haven't heard this.
All right, so
John's listening. He's come in. He's eavesdropping.
Main issue with powerlifting, if you're at the top, it's great. There's things to go for. You can compete at nationals. Going to nationals is something to aim for. Further on, you could get to the SPD Cup, SPD
Australia Cup.
Australia Cup.
Good luck getting invited.
Which is fantastic.
Very exclusive.
Now, there are a bunch of people who've been doing powerlifting for, 4 or 5 years, and they obviously progress has slowed down a lot. A lot of people where it takes us a couple of years to even muster up a PB. And these people, and it seems to be a common thing I observe at least, is they won't do a comp unless all the ducks are lined up. It looks like they've had enough time to go out and beat their previous best, which makes sense, right?
Sounds like a them problem, to be honest.
Which I think it's pretty common. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't know that many people who train hard and actually tick boxes who can't hit a PB in 2 years. Like, I don't think that, I think that's more on the person not fully committing to improving. Like, we've seen how quickly people can improve.
Yep.
If they actually give a fuck.
Yep.
Even the best lifters in the world. Like, I get to just beat the world record by 9% and then beat it again by 5% a year later. Like, obviously she's a genetic freak, but she's at the top level and she's making that much progress in that short of a time period. I feel like people who wait for the ducks to line up aren't actually letting the ducks line up on their own, because you're responsible for this. Like, you can get your ducks to line up by just being smarter about your training, recovering better, eating better, doing it over and over again. If you really care about hitting PBs, you'll find a way to do it. Anyway, go back to your rant.
Sure. All right, we'll take the PB thing out of the conversation. There isn't much for everyone else that's not at the top.
I do agree. There's like
go for.
There's a bit of a gap in the middle where, what are we really competing for?
Correct. Like, how motivated are people for medals at local comps when there could be 2 people in the weight class?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like, John, you need a mic. Oh, just yeah, keep going.
All right, thank you. All right. Team sport. Teams. This is all coming back to team sport.
So I played basketball for a long time.
Yep.
Right? I played in the level below the NBL.
Yep.
Right? But I was never good enough to make it to the NBL.
Yep.
And then I stopped playing, and there's local comps you can go and play, and like it's fun and it's a hobby and whatever. But there's nothing between that, right?
Yeah,
and
but you can be in a
same.
category suited to your level and play for a grand final and cup.
Sure. But is that? I guess so. Yeah.
Yep. So that doesn't exist.
That's a local comp. That's winning a local comp in your category, in your weight class, your age class. That exists. Is that not just a local comp?
But we know they're not attractive. We know it's not attractive.
Is it just not attractive because the participation rate isn't high enough that the competition is actually high enough? Like if there was like 20 people per weight class per local comp, winning that medal would be a little bit more important, right?
For sure, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep,
So
because the
perhaps
winning would carry more weight.
Perhaps it's just a population issue. Just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it could be. Anyway, you want to hear my solution?
Yeah, sorry, keep going. I don't really want to hear a solution. I'm just poking holes in it.
All right, so half inspired by tennis.
Okay.
This all was built off the idea of there being a ranking system internally in national federations. In tennis, you have Grand Slam events, Masters 1000s, 500, 250. Most ranking points are available at each of those tiers. So in a powerlifting context, you might have nationals as the most points you can win, call it 1,000. Let's call these gold, silver, and bronze events, right?
I'm listening.
So you could essentially segregate people by level based on hosting different levels of these comps across the year.
Yeah.
So first thing you need is some sort of reward for actually being ranked highly, whether that's end of year, the number one ranked person on points wins cash, whatever, right? Or has that title, that medal, that's its own thing. What that does, if you put, say, 2 or 3 gold events across the year, where the most points are up for grabs, the best lifters will go and do those comps and those comps only.
Okay, so do you know what happened with the USA Powerlifting Pro Series? Because this is exactly what they did. They gave out points for winning your division
so at the top,
each particular pro event.
Yep.
And then the winner got a certain percentage of the prize money or whatever.
Yep.
And they all left to go to the IPF.
Silver events.
Okay.
Silver events, you get you don't get as many points, so you really couldn't challenge someone that's competing in all those gold events, but you're able to win silver comps.
Yeah.
Right? So that might be, let's say that's people with a 350 to 400 dots based on how it all works out. Then they're always with that level of lifter, and winning a silver comp, for someone that probably isn't going to break it to that next level, that's a great achievement for them. Awesome. Great.
So what you're saying is essentially like creating sort of like tiers.
Yep.
And grouping lifters into those tiers to compete against one another.
Yeah.
So like if you're between 70 and 80 GL, you compete at City Strength on this weekend. If you're between 80 and 90, you compete at Paragon the next weekend. If you're between 90 and 100, whatever, you compete at this other weekend.
Sure. That obviously gets tricky because people right at the top could extend past it. But what you do is you'd set it up in a way where the ranking points are the number one priority. So there's no way like a gold level lifter would be tempted to drop to a silver comp. Does that make sense?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just think like when you're comparing to like a sport like tennis, you can compete every weekend. You can play 3 matches in the same week. Mm-hmm. Like that's what they do at Opens. Team sports are like that. The fatigue for one game is just nowhere near what it is for like a powerlifting comp going through a whole prep. It's months and months of prep. I just don't know if that would incentivize people enough to compete 3+ times per year. Like there would be. Here comes John.
I think that works for tennis because it's a professional sport. What's missing from your proposal or idea is a whole financial model to incentivize like the top tier lifters to do this particular comp. Because on tennis, players get invited. Like you want your top players in, you invite them, you fly them in, you pay for them. So that on top of the frequency of competing, you're missing the whole financial model to actually gear that up to make it work. Otherwise, there's no incentive for like the top guys to go do this particular comp over this particular comp.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I personally think that like it's only really the opens age group that doesn't benefit in powerlifting from other events, because like once you get to masters, you've now got masters nationals, and it's a small enough crop that most people can make it if they train hard enough. Most people have the genetics to make it there. Not everyone has the genetics and the work ethic and the time to make it to open nationals. Like not everyone's going to be that good, but once you're out of that open field, you got those opportunities again. So
that standard will only rise and rise though.
I actually think that, but that's good. I actually think that the way to combat this is with stuff like team champs. Like I think team champs is how to get past this kind of thing. It's like creating a different sort of structure that's different to a normal comp. You still go through the same comp prep. You still come and you still have 9 lifts, but you're competing as a part of a team. Your team's trying to win something. These comps that are slightly different, that have a bit more like sort of an angle, a bit of a different angle as to just doing a local comp. I think that's how you incentivize these people who are like not quite at the national level yet. I just don't know what other events outside of Team Champs could do it. Like obviously we've spoken about Power Pals in Sydney, which is in September, which is like essentially like Team Champs but with 2 people. That went really well last year. I think stuff like that's really good. But yeah.
I know you don't agree with me, but I'm going to keep on addressing some of the points you went against the tiered model. Training comp frequency is only based on what we're used to with powerlifting preps. If we knew we had to do 4 comps in a year, we'd train very differently.
But
we train way more sustainably.
Maybe. But there would always be people who want to push themselves harder. And we already have a big issue with burnout, particularly with juniors who come in and they want to go local, nationals, international, local, national, international, and then they're gone. I think that would actually be more likely to increase burnout. If you're telling someone, hey, we're going to prep for a comp in February, May, August, and November, it's like, whoa, that's a big commitment. The start of the year. I've got to do 4 comps this year. That's a big commitment. I've got to be locked in that whole time. I've got to make weight 4 times. I've got to peak 4 times. Like, obviously you can prioritize and deprioritize and whatever. And like, there's ways you can do it smart, but that's pretty tough.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just don't think there's much for a lot of people. I agree, like the unique comps are fantastic because it gives people more purpose than just their own training, and that's why I think there's
another comp coming to APA later this year called East and West Coast Challenge, which is for lifters. So there's no minimum qualifying standard.
Yeah.
But the cutoff is the QT for nationals. So if you've hit the QT for
Why
nationals,
don't you bring this up earlier? Okay.
You can't do it. You can't compete in that event.
So that's a great idea.
So there's one in Perth. There's going to be one. I'm not sure where on the East Coast it is, whether it's here or in Melbourne, or Queensland. So that's kind of the model to get people in. My only issue with that is like there's a whole lot of people like me who I do qualify for nationals, but I'm going to come like fucking 15th.
Yeah.
But I also can't compete at this thing because I'm overqualified.
Yeah.
So it's like there's almost like this, we may need to raise the level of what this overqualification for this event means. But the other thing they're doing for this event is they're actually going to have what's called like East Coast records, which are just the biggest lift that's been done at this championship from someone who's not qualified for nationals in that sort of lower
so they
tier.
want to run it for consecutive years then, I'm guessing? Yeah, cool. Well,
so yeah, that's something that's coming. But and like I agree, there is something missing for those people not quite at nationals yet.
Yeah.
That will help Team Champs, Power Pals. I'm sure more meet directors are gonna start thinking about this because, you know, people like yourself. Are you gonna run comps at your gym?
Eventually, is the plan.
People like yourself are in charge of places that run meets and you've encountered this problem
Yeah.
and you care about kind of providing a service for these people in this bucket, so you'll figure out a way to sort of make it happen.
I do think it is normal for people after a few years of competing to be less motivated to do comps. Full stop. I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
How it's fixed, I'm not sure. But
I actually just think that that's really normal with most hobbies. Like most people go into a hobby, doesn't last that long, and they go and do another hobby. Like how many people started playing golf recently and then quit, and then now they do running, and then now they do cycling, and now they do something else, and now they're doing triathlons. Yeah, now they're doing Muay Thai, BJJ. Like people who haven't stuck in something are always trying to find sort of the next fun thing. And powerlifting might be that for a lot of people. And like, I don't expect people to last as long as I have in powerlifting. This is my 12th year. Like, I don't expect anyone to do that. So yeah. I kind of expect people to be in and out the door in 3 years. That's kind of what I expect.
yeah, yep. Fair enough. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
All right, talk to me about your fine system for coaches.
Yeah. So
I haven't heard about this either.
it's good. So back on the Good Lifting podcast, we came up with community fines, and they were fines we'd give out.
Was the Good Lifting podcast the Victorian powerlifting podcast?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
The USAPL Victoria show?
That's the one.
Yeah, cool. Just checking.
Best one in the USAPL Australia. We had a fine system for things we saw at comps.
Right. From each other?
No, for anyone.
Because there was 3 of you, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
For anyone in the industry. And it started off from our, trying to implement our strong morals. So, if a coach argued with a ref, fine. Terrible. Fine.
What's the fine though?
$1.
$1.
Yep. And each week you don't pay it, it goes up. Not that any of the fines were paid.
Okay. So
But
they're accruing some taxes.
I think a few people owe us a couple $100.
Yeah, sweet.
But then it was for other things that we thought shouldn't be out there. For example, ankle socks when you're squatting.
Okay.
No good. That's a fine. $1 fine.
Just aesthetically. Don't like it.
Yeah. What have you... the ankle socks? Do you wear them to squat?
Well, SBD have the low socks. What are they called? The training socks, and they're like little ankle socks. Are those
They're
allowed?
crew socks, aren't they?
No, they've got low ones and then crew and then the other socks.
Sorry, that's a fine. Yeah.
Not good enough. Hate it. I agree. I actually agree. I hate ankle socks so much.
And my favorite one is if you are the last deadlifter of a group and you don't make the lift.
So you got to.
That's a fine.
There's pressure on you to make if you're the
Not
last person.
only that, double fine if it doesn't break the floor. Like, what are you doing? Getting the crowd up and about, and you haven't broken the floor with your deadlift. Don't waste our time.
I definitely agree that that's like one of the big anticlimaxes in powerlifting.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, last lift of the day. We got 285 for Jeff. Here he comes. Everyone's on their feet. Everyone's excited. Here comes Jeff. He's doing a couple of these ones to the crowd, and then he comes out. It's like, it doesn't go anywhere. And it's like, good effort, Jeff. And then, all right, that's the end of the comp. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Do you have any other fines you would give out? So, either stuff you hate seeing.
Wearing hats inside.
You don't like this?
Hate people wearing hats inside.
Sorry, mate. It's keeping my hair
Is
together.
it because you got bad hair?
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Oh.
No, you got good hairline.
Nah, but if I don't put in my special stuff in the morning,
Okay.
it doesn't look any good.
Bring your special stuff to Sydney.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, wearing hats inside I don't like. Wearing sunglasses while coaching I hate.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
I don't like it.
Singlets while coaching.
Singlets while coaching don't like.
Yeah.
I really don't like branded polo shirts either.
Yeah.
Like polo shirts with the coach's gym on it, or
Yeah. Did you see when I said that? I hate polos.
yeah. I mean, I just don't personally like polos, but that's just a me thing. It's not like it's bad on everyone thing. It's just a personal preference, you know. But arguing with refs, definitely. What else is there? It's a good question. Not being polite
if you're
to
sipping on your coffee while your lifters. Ever seen someone like sipping on a coffee casually while their lifters out on the platform? I've seen that. It got me the wrong way.
I've got my Monster with me at all times, so I'm probably a culprit of this. Not being polite to the tech desk, huge one.
Yep.
Like if you don't joke with the tech desk about having shit handwriting every single time you put an attempt in, be like, oh, that's a 7.
Do
If you
most
don't do
tech
that every
desks,
single time,
do they think you're charming?
100%.
Yeah. It's part of the game.
That's part of the game.
Yep.
And you come in and you go, I've got an attempt change for you. And they're like, oh. I do.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So what?
Well,
what
I like to verbalize because, A, my handwriting's not very good, but I don't want them to fuck it up. Like,
yeah.
and it's not their fault. If you're literally handwriting, you're not printing it.
Yep.
There could be errors. If you write a 2 that looks like a 7 and they put a 7 in the sheet, and then you come out and you go, oh no, sorry, that's supposed to be a 7. Like,
Yeah. I'll walk up, I start writing, I say, hey, how's it going? May I please have 185 as I'm still writing? They've heard 185. They see 185. It's never wrong. This
And
one time.
you know how often sometimes they would, if you don't say it, they ask you. Because like I've sometimes just like put one in, be like, thanks guys, here you go.
Yep.
And then they go, oh, is that 172.5? I'm like, yep. So it just do it. Just do it for them.
This one
Help
time
'em
at a
out.
comp, I did that. So I say it as I'm writing it. And we love all volunteers, of course, and they're doing the absolute best, and we're very thankful. We can't do anything without them. But this volunteer said, just give it to me. I'm like, what?
She didn't want any small
Didn't
talk.
want any small talk. I'll never forget that. It was the worst.
That's so shit. Biggest fines actually should go to lifters who have the heaviest squat opener in the group, and then their coach just pisses off and doesn't unload the plates. Because that happens
100%.
so often. Because like that rack is now going to be a bench,
Yep.
and it's on the wrong pin height. Like it's up the top hook and not the bottom hook.
Yeah, yep.
And there's 250 kilos on it. And the next group is women doing bench, and they need to do the bar, and then 25 and then 30.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yeah, yep. So I obviously completely agree with you. Let's say you've got the last squat of the group with your lifter, and you've been sharing the rack with 3 other coaches. You're the last to go, so they've all like gone off to line up by the time you've done your last one. Are you like, would you go back to one of the coaches and say, hey, yo, can you help me just unload this quickly? Like, are you just doing that on your own?
Probably going to go ask someone for help.
Yeah.
Because usually when you're sharing racks, obviously you're doing your last warm up 7 to 10 minutes before the opener.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And the person before you is probably gone 1 minute before you. So they're probably not far away. And they're also 6 or 8 minutes away from their opener. Like, that coach has time.
Yeah.
Unless that coach has the first and second lifter in the group, which is totally possible. Maybe end up doing it on your own, but yeah.
Do you know what's funny? I am trying to figure out why I'm like you. Like, I think I get it from PTing as well. Like, if you leave something loaded, you don't. You pack things up straight away. But I'm like, okay, how do coaches actually learn this in powerlifting? And I reckon I may have got it from weekly weights. I'm trying to think why I would know the etiquette. Like, who actually teaches you etiquette in a warm-up room?
Well, we have a coaching course for APA that everyone has to do.
Am I supposed to do
like an intro course.
Right.
If you've done the PA one or the APU one in the past, you don't have to do it.
Right.
You get ticked off. But it's free anyway. It's online.
Yeah.
And it's literally just me talking to a screen. And there's a whole section about etiquette.
Oh, very
It's
good.
like, put your shit away. Put clips on the bar. Don't put any bags in the way. Like, all just stuff like that. It's in there. And there's a couple of questions in the exam about it as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. All right. Well, very good.
I'll send you those so that you can think of more fines.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff that's in there for fines.
Yeah. What do you think about people that, what's it called? Rack hop.
What?
Rack hop. Hop between racks.
See, hate it for anything except for deadlifts.
Agreed.
Deadlifts, I think it's like, so we've been doing this thing recently. Like there's a few coaches in Sydney who are like kind of in on this idea that when you have 4 platforms set up, one of them stays at 70 and change, the next one stays at 120 and change, the next one stays at 170 and change, and the last one stays at 220 and change.
Yep.
So that it's very easy to jump between plates without having to take off plates and put the bar jack on.
Yep.
Someone might do 70 and 100, they're going to stay on that one. Someone might do 70, 120, 170, they're just going to go bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
And it saves the amount of changing of plates by fucking heaps. It's like actually been such a good system.
Does that not... But that means everyone has to go through that same 70.
Yeah, but how long does that take?
Yeah, but like, let's say you've got, 12 people have to go through the 70.
But like, who actually sets up for 70? You just go and do 70 and you just go and do 120. Like, it literally takes 10 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
And then when you get to closer to last warm-ups, everyone ends up organically spreading out because there'll be some people doing like 140 for the last warm-up, some people doing 240 for the last warm-up, and then everyone kind of evens out across the 4 platforms. It ends up working well.
Yeah, okay. Do you want me to trial it in Melbourne and get back to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only way it would suck is if like someone needed to do less than 70, like if someone started on 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a barrier. But it's been good. But hopping on squats and hopping on benches is so annoying.
Yeah.
Because like you got to change rack heights, you got to change load, you got to undo clips. Like and also when you plan your warm ups with like, you know, the 3 or 4 coaches that you're sharing with, you're like, all right, we'll do 70, you do 80, we'll do 80,
great
then
chemistry.
you
You've
do
got it all
100, and
going.
you're just banging, you're just fucking clanging and banging.
Yep.
And then someone jumps in and like, oh, can I do 80? And you're like, honestly, no. Like, go away. We've already planned this. Like, piss off.
Yeah.
Go find somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
What else for fines?
The warm-up room does produce a lot.
Yeah, warm-up rooms is got to be the most fines, for sure.
What's like a pre-lift? Obviously, this is subjective, and your bias is encouraged here. Like any pre-lift routines that you hate to see that you would find. Might be like an arm display before sim or along that line.
Yeah, I think with deadlifts, like, fuck, there was this guy from, I think it was Equipped Asian Championships or something a few weeks ago, was doing the rounds.
Yeah.
And he was doing this like full elaborate, like, you know, like Macarena type of dance before his attempt. And then he ended up, oh no, he was standing over the bar and he was going, and he just kept doing that like up and down. And then he just ended up yanking it. So it was like all of this work that he'd done beforehand was just completely a waste of time. So that's probably my pet peeve, is like any like idiosyncrasy like that doesn't result in actually helping the lift.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the answer.
Yeah, okay. I'll pay it.
I guess like the other thing would be like ammonia for openers, or like hectic back slaps for like openers or second attempts. It's like, let's just save that for the thirds.
Do you see it much for openers?
You see ammonia for openers. You see big fucking G-ups for seconds.
You can taper do you use ammonia? Oh, you use the caps, don't you?
Yeah, I like the caps, yeah.
Yeah. When you got a tub, you can taper how much you take.
Well, you can taper how much you take with the cap anyway. You just only do like a second and then you do 3 seconds for your third attempt or whatever.
Yeah. I'd use from second on. Actually, sorry, correction. I don't really use ammonia in comps. I go crazy. But like if I was to use them, I probably wouldn't use it for my first. But I could see how you can get like just enough to just like get you up and about a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
Be like it can be more of a mental trigger than the actual.
I think what I'm referring to is more that like ammonia usually comes with the rest of it, which is like a bit of a fucking and then a bit of a slap and then.
What do you like pre-lift?
I don't know. I kind of like a pace, and I'm kind of just like rapping my 50 Cent to myself.
Yeah.
And then I'll ammonia and do a little grunt and go out.
So you like headphones in until the last minute.
Yeah, I don't really like outwardly do a lot.
Yeah.
It's like all in here.
Yeah, okay.
Just craziness.
Just
Like, fuck, please don't fail.
please.
right,
How
that
is
was-
your regression going?
What's that?
How is your regression going?
My regression.
Yeah.
Well, I actually improved on my last comp from the one before, but not off my all-time best. So
Okay.
I think we should be on the way up, but the body weight's coming down. So I don't know.
Is
I guess that's an
GL
improvement.
going up? Do you reckon? What's
Yeah,
your
well,
live
it
GL?
will.
You reckon it's healthy?
Well, my shoulder's still on the mend, so hard to say.
Yeah.
I'd like to GL 100 one day. That would be good.
What do we say that's close to?
That's like a 500 dots ish.
Okay.
That would be good. That'd be like 725 at 83.
Yep.
That would be really good. Yeah, that's probably like.
Will you be
a goal.
diced at 83?
Probably not.
Okay.
All right, that's enough. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. John, you want to come on next week? Sure. Sweet. I don't know. We'll figure it out next week. All right. See you next week with John.
So yeah.